of Guyana notice. It has been brought to the attention of the Bank of Guyana that persons and entities not registered with BOG or the Guyana Security Council are holding themselves out to the public as investment brokers and offering financial products with extraordinary high rates of returns in excess of 10%. The bank would like to advise the public to invest only through entities registered by the BOG and the GSC. Companies registered with BOG, which are authorized to conduct investment business for the public, are Hand in Hand Trust Company Inc., Trust Company Guyana Limited, and the Guyana American Merchant Bank.
Win $100,000 monthly with Sleepy Sanitary Pads. Sleepy Sanitary Pads are all natural and are made with cotton and bamboo fibers. It is dye and lotion free, hence no irritations or rashes. Sleepy Sanitary Pads are available in 2 sizes, ultra thin and thick. It is affordable and available nationwide. See press for details. Visit our Sleepy South America Facebook page or call us on 233-2473.
13 hours 32 in Guyana and right across the Eastern Caribbean. Good afternoon to you and welcome to Wake Up Guyana with senior journalist Leonard Gildarie and Danielle Singh. Of course, you're listening to us on 99.1 FM in Demerara and Essequibo and 99.5 FM in Berbice, online at KaieteurNewsOnline.com, via our Facebook page, Kaieteur Radio. Let's remind you that you can also head across to our YouTube page, Kaieteur Radio live stream, and stream us there. So, without further delay, gentlemen, lady, a pleasant good afternoon to you.
Yes, good afternoon, dear the good gentleman here at Kaieteur Radio. It's a good day. It is day 10 since the new government. We would have had a new president being sworn in, President Irfan Ali, and it is August the 11th, 2020. I want to say a good day to all our good people right across this beautiful land of ours, and wherever you're joining us from, may you have the peace that I have in my heart today, because when we behold the beauty of this land and the potential, we should have hope, and that in itself gives us a purpose in life. So let's get right down into it. It is Wake Up Guyana show, and you should wake up and smell the coffee because there's so many things that we should be aware of, and we want to share it with you. And we want to tell you there's many developments that are happening right across this land because of the political situation. There's some changes, major changes that the people of Guyana should know about. For example, if you go to the Kaieteur newspaper today, it is saying a lot of things. Let us see. It's August 11, 2020. Minister Agile questions where 200 million in asphalt went. And this is for the government, the state-owned asphalt plant in the Garden of Eden, East Bank, Demerara. They can't find or they don't have any records of it, and they're now investigating where that asphalt went. Before I do that, let me say a good day to my good co-host, Danielle Singh. How are you doing, my dear?
Good day, Gildarie, and good day, Guyana. I'm doing pretty fine on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. It's a good day. A lot of things happening, a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, yes, I must say that it's a brand new day. Well, let me also tell you something. I seem as if we seem to be in a little letdown today after yesterday's performance by Jackie Jacks. I think
Yeah.
she would have really uplifted us.
Yes.
And we're going to continue to bring our people right here, our artists, our people in Guyana who would make us happy with their productions, with their presentations, with what they do every single day. And you could see that she really liked it. She came out and she belted her heart out to the people. And based on what we were seeing, there was a lot of happiness from
Yes.
our listeners and
Yeah.
viewers
A
there.
lot of positive feedback.
We gotta bring her back. She did have a
Definitely.
lot of very good soul there, and of course, in a couple of days, we're gonna have another somebody that I think all Guyana also would love
Yeah.
equally as well as Jackie Jacks here. Not gonna say it; it's gonna be a surprise. So you guys stand by. I'm talking to her. at the moment. So let's see what happens. So I'm talking to her. That's much as I want to say. Minister of Communities paid hundreds of millions to over 50 contract workers. This is a really shocking story. So one ministry, one ministry had what the government is saying. They were political employees that was doing everything except the ministry's work. They could find very little evidence of what they were doing exactly in the ministry. So we would have to continue following the story here, Danielle.
Yeah.
But what I could tell you at the moment, it is there's so many developments that's happening that it amazes you that you could actually have 50 contract workers that you have absolutely no idea. And I think it's several $100 million that they were looking at that was paid out
Yeah.
over the last 5 years. Some of them were actually not working at that point in time, but they were actually looking after elections, results, and other stuff at the International Convention Center, where I must tell you the recount was going on a couple of weeks back. So this is a developing story. Minister Dharmlal would have said there's no proof of work done. So we go down there. Van West Charles, this is Dr. Richard Van West Charles. Christopher Jones has sent packing, told to immediately return government properties. These are two interesting ones. Christopher Jones was one of the face of the coalition out in front.
Yes.
He would have been on social media. It was widely expected that, of course, as a political employee, he would have been one that would have been off his job immediately. I think he would have turned up, or there was an appointment of another or a director of sports.
It is in the making. He has not been appointed as yet, but
It is.
we got some confirmation that it will be happening soon. He will be appointed soon.
That is Kashif Mohammed.
Yes, Kashif
And, yeah.
Mohammed.
And that was a guy that had for years been doing football up in
Over
London.
30 years.
30 years, a
Yeah.
long time. And so he's well known in the football field in the sporting arena there. And so we are going to keep you posted, but Christopher Jones has been handed his letter of termination, no longer the director of sports, returned government properties. And I think they would have been given some time. We'd have to follow the story because obviously when you terminate, there is going to be some repercussions. The person would have to be paid and so on in keeping. That's what the labor law says. However, in this particular case, in Jones' case, what is interesting is that after elections,
His contract was renewed.
the man went and renewed his
Yeah,
contract. Who does
yeah.
that?
Christopher Jones.
Yes, well, in this particular case, but Richard Van West Charles, Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Water Inc., and there he was also sent packing. You know, looking forward, I would hate to see, and this is Gildarie speaking now, I would hate to see in 2025, hopefully we have elections then. I hope that they are able to fix GCOM and do a whole bunch of reforms that we see this elections has thrown up that is much needed. But come 2025, let me tell you, I want to make it very, very clear. I would hate to see people, political employees, appointees, who would have been in the job knowing that they're doing political work right through. Nobody's saying it's not your right,
Yeah.
but if you're doing your work during the elections time and you're being paid by the state, you have to make a decision. It's um, either that you decide you want to be campaigning or you remain on the job, or you're being paid by state while you were campaigning. What did you produce during the campaigning
Exactly,
phase?
yeah.
So all these things that come, but I would hate to see us in 2025 that we have the same situation. It does not do good for that we have to beg you to resign. That's one. And the new government or the government of the day would have to be sacking you. I don't want to see any government sacking anybody.
Yes.
I think this is also wrong. So, however, as you go in with a new government, you want your own people that you could trust that is there. And that's why the whole thing with public servants and your role and what you do in politics and everything, we have to be very clear. Maybe we're going to invite some experts sometime or the other, and let them tell us what are some of the rules in the public service, what you can and cannot do, as people of Guyana. So let us see what happened. There was news coming out about a major drug bust in Europe. I'm going to
Yeah.
bring some details to you in a very short while. Well, we would have been bringing you story with these investments, which is offering a lot of money. There's some developments there. Accelerated that fund that a lot of people would have invested
Yeah.
in. They've come out with a statement. There's a statement also from the Bank of Guyana, which is talking about investments that seems too good to be true. So there are varying things that's happening. I'm going to have to read that to you in a very short while. A lot of people are interested in that. A lot of people have invested, and they believe what they invested in is the real deal. In a very short while from Trinidad, we have this major thing also that is surfacing over the social media, which is foreign exchange trading,
Yeah.
meaning that if you want to buy and sell currency, you could be able to do that because there's one company or one entity overseas that has some local link up here that was offering it. And so we are going to have Mr. Michael Ali in a very short while from Trinidad with another colleague of his. And maybe we could start linking them up when you're ready there, Raj. And so we are going to be bringing you and let them tell their side of the story. In keeping with our mandate as a radio and a newspaper, there's always two and three sides to the story. We want
Correct.
everybody.
Yes.
It's not only with the PPP side, but it is about the coalition also. They're part of Guyana. We want them to come. We've sent invitations to them. We have issued open invitations over the airwaves to that. So we want to continue. It is what a good society does. It is what productive society does. It's what democratic society does. Public not aware of $8 million IDB funded criminal justice project. This is Attorney General Anand would have toured a place on Hatfield Street, which says that we're not aware of this big money here. It's $1.6 billion thereabouts of this IDB criminal justice project, and he says there's very little information about it. He's trying to determine what it is. Trinidad.
Big
Big
news coming
news.
out of Trinidad.
Yes, 4.5 hours or 3.5 hours. The polls close at 6 o'clock. By 10:30, I think thereabouts, Keith Rowley, who was the incumbent prime minister, would have been able to say to his people of Trinidad, "Well, I have been returned to power." I think it's about 2 seats or so difference, 21-19. But he has been returned to power. Of course, you hear Kamala Bisesar, who was a former prime minister who would have been coming up against Keith Rowley, would have said that she wants a recount.
Yeah.
But the good thing about those countries, which we should take a page off and pay attention how societies who are mature, which are mature, how they do things. Because she says, I want a recount, but guess what? I am going to go back into opposition and we're going to do the correct thing. We're going to go through the right channels. So one day after, Trinidad is continuing with their government, and yes, there's going to be some swearing back, I assume. I'm not sure how they do it there, but what we do know is that 3.5 to 4 hours, they would have been able, 6 and 3, 9, 4.5 hours, they would have been able to tell the people of Trinidad that Keith Rowley has been returned to the presidency, the prime ministerial position as a leader of that Twin Island Republic. Special team launches investigation into rank shooting of unarmed men. Let the police be aware that they have to do some things. This morning, I saw 2 policemen by the Thorn and Diamond there. And if you're familiar, you're living along the East Bank, Grove Diamond, how are you guys doing? In Grove Diamond area, wrong by the DDL turn there, the policemen are stopping traffic there with the speed guns. And guess what? In front of the police got a big hole that if you drop in that, you're going to bend your tires, you're going to damage it. And they're standing and they're more concerned about the speed that vehicle is coming with. But not one of them. I asked them if any one of you, I stopped and I'm going to take the photograph tonight. It is like, I think it's a big hole there. And so I said, have any of you made any reports to the authority that that could kill somebody? And they were standing there and look at me all bugged-eyed. And I'm wondering, where is the priority? What is it that we thinking? Do we have anybody taking initiatives and so on? So government paid $50 million for Buju Banton tickets, not PNCR. Remember when they had bring Buju Banton Forrest, I think one of his big
Yeah.
shows in Guyana after
His
he would have
first
been
show
released.
after he was released
Right, and
from
so
prison.
I think Amna Ali was the one that says that the PNCR would have paid it. It's
Yeah.
coming out now. It's a lotto fund, the government taxes on the lotto that would have paid for it, and so
And that's something we have to talk about later on in the program, what the Lotto Fund really is, because I don't think a lot of Guyanese know what that Lotto Fund is. So we have to talk about that a little later on in our program.
yes, of course, Office of the President takes charge of natural resources and finance. And so I think we need a finance minister, but we have former finance minister as well as former President Bar
Yeah.
Jagdeo there as the vice president at the Ministry of the Presidency. He's going to hold it until I presume they're seeking a finance minister at the moment. And of course, natural resources, big area. They want to see how this is being handled, the oil and everything there. So they're going to handle it under the Ministry of the Presidency, they say, because it's such a big thing. Everybody's paying attention. Every move that the People's Progressive Party Civic takes, they are going to be looking at it. So I think Raj is signaling to me that the gentlemen, them are on air. And so I want to say thank you very much. We have, in any engagements with the public, it is all good when people would come out and they want to clear the air. And it means that you have nothing to hide. In the last couple of days, there has been questions about investment funds. There has been questions about foreign exchange trading,
Yeah.
and we would have reached out to the accelerated funds people, and they would have issued a statement today. However, there was the other side with foreign exchange trading. A lot of people would have been receiving messages on their WhatsApp and so on. And so we did, in fact, Mr. Michael Ali from Trinidad was very engaged, and he reached out to us and says, "Look, I want to talk about this. I want to clear this air. This thing is legit. There's nothing wrong with it." And he's right with us today, Mr. Michael Ali, all the way from Trinidad, and he's one of the platinum leader. You would have heard the word platinum there, and he's going to explain all about it, about what foreign exchange is, forex trading is. And of course, I think he has with him Mr. Gary McSween, and he's the Caribbean leader of the I Am Mastery Academy. I hope I got it right there. Gentlemen, are you hearing us?
Yeah, Mr. Gildarie, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Very good, very good. So I think Mr. Michael Ali would have been a couple days back, would have reached out to us, but we were not prepared. We're in the midst of the election period, and we didn't want to frustrate the people and so on. However, this matter of forex trading and investment funds raised its head last week after the authorities, I think, is a competition and competitive commission would have sent out a statement warning about a couple of things that seems to be good to be true. And Mr. Michael Ali would have made it very clear, look, we're not in that. So, Mr. Michael Ali, what is forex trading? And it seems to be something that a lot of people are hooking on to. What is it really that you guys are offering?
Well, Forex, right, is foreign exchange, right, with currencies and the movement of currencies on the financial market. Right, and well, I have my leader, my coach, my mentor, Mr. Gary McSween, right? He's one of the top leaders with the university with I Am Mastery Academy. Right, so he would be the ideal person to be explaining the entire process. I'm fully capable, but since you have somebody more senior than me, I would like him to lead.
Absolutely, sir. You go right ahead.
Fantastic. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Gary McSween, and I am 36 years of age. I'm from the beautiful country of Trinidad and Tobago. I know we're broadcasting right now in Guyana, so it's a privilege for us to be on this radio station. I know that you guys are very well known. I'm an engineer by profession, so that's what I did for many years, almost 10 years. I did that got into entrepreneurship, but more specifically got introduced to this company, I Am Mastery Academy, in 2016. I knew nothing about trading currencies, knew nothing about Forex. So I learned everything through this platform. What I want to really do and engage the public here is to really inform yourself about what is available out there. We are living in a very uncertain time in the world because of what's going on with COVID-19. and a lot of people are uncertain. A lot of people are unaware of what to do, especially from a financial standpoint. So I understand the cry of a lot of people. Now, what's happening is that there's a lot of information out there, but it's also important for you to do your due diligence, right? So the company that Michael Ali and myself represent is I Am Mastery Academy. It's an online educational platform. Now, I want to share my screen. I'm not sure if I'm able to do that. Who is the host? Let me see who's the host. I believe Mr. Gildarie, you're the host?
Yes,
Not
I
sure
am
if
the
you-
host, but we want to ask you because I don't think we have the accommodation. The time is not going to take because we would want to bring you back sometime or the other. This is an ongoing conversation that we're going to have.
Okay, no problem.
The people of Guyana are very, very concerned, especially the authorities. I'm not
Yes.
sure whether you would have had the chance to look at the Bank of Guyana statement that would have been issued today. I'm trying to get my hands on it. Could you get the Bank of Guyana for me? So in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I'm going to have to ask you to continue to explain
no
what it
problem.
is. So maybe give a synopsis because the time doesn't really allow us to do any kind of streaming or anything right now
No
with
problem
regards
at
to
all.
what you have.
No problem at all. So basically, it's an educational platform. So someone who's an average individual that knows nothing about trading currencies, they have the opportunity to join the platform to learn the skill of trading. We have an online educational platform. So it's video modules, tutorials that basically give you basic knowledge about Forex from beginner's knowledge to intermediate knowledge all the way to advanced knowledge. We have live trading classes. So we have over 120 plus full-time educators. These are people who have been hired by the company to teach. We literally have over 1,000 hours per month of live education and mentorship when it comes to trading currencies. So someone who's brand new, they join, they go through the academy. It's very extensive. And then they join live trading sessions so that they can learn to trade for themselves. Now, the most important thing that I want you guys to understand is I Am Mastery Academy does not trade people's money. So people are joining to learn on their own independently, and they are able now to go into trading in the foreign exchange market through regulated brokers. So the company I Am Mastery Academy is not a broker. We are simply an online educational platform. We don't trade people's money for them. We don't do anything of those sorts. All we do is give people the education. So they have a choice to join to learn the skill of trading. So that's basically what the platform is about. We also have some softwares, some tools, and techniques that we teach people how to use these tools on their own so that they can actually be profitable by themselves. Trading has been around, Forex has been around for many years. I Am Mastery Academy has simply provided education that is very affordable. We have a wonderful community where people share and learn and earn together. So that's basically the concept of the platform there in a nutshell.
Yes, and I have a couple of questions here for you, which I think the people of Guyana would be wanting to know. If I want to sign up for this foreign exchange class that you have there, your online classes,
Yes.
am I obligated, or do you ever ask me to bring on any other person as part of the arrangements? Could I bring on two persons and get a discount? Is that part of what you're asking?
We don't ask people for that. There's an option.
So there's
Because
a,
as you know, a
it
lot of
exists.
people,
It exists. Something like that exists.
yes, it does. It does exist. And the reason why it exists is because not everybody has the finances to stay on the platform. You know, it's almost like you're getting a scholarship. The company says if you decide to, and it is optional, you can refer to people and get access to the platform for free.
And so when you bring on these persons, do you get a discount then as part of the fee? I think somebody told me it's like about 40,000 Guyana dollars or so thereabouts.
Well, I'm not sure what you heard of, but we have a 2 and 3 program. So basically, someone who's brand new is a customer. If they refer to customers, they don't pay their monthly subscription fee. So it's basically they get access to the service for free by referring to individuals.
Now, after you would have learned to do that, do you also offer the services of brokers?
No, we don't. We are not a broker. We don't trade people's money. We don't handle people's investments.
Do you refer anybody that is part of these things to brokers overseas?
Well, what we do is we share the brokers that we use personally for ourselves, but individuals, they do their own due diligence and they choose the broker of their choice.
Has your entity asked the Guyanese authority, the regulators here, including the Guyana Security Council or the Bank of Guyana Central Bank, as we would call it,
Yeah.
as to whether you would need any kind of regulatory approval?
Well, the only time we need regulatory approval is if we are trading or handling people's money. So we're not actually doing that. So it's almost like somebody who decides to enroll in an online course. They are learning for themselves, and then now they are empowered with the knowledge, with the information to go out and do it on their own.
All right, and so my question to you, I come back to the question that I just asked you. Have you sought any kind of advice from the regulatory bodies in Guyana?
No, I said no. I said no because we don't have to, because we don't actually handle people's money. So that makes remember, it's an online educational platform. Someone could go on and learn about social media marketing from online, but they could now actually do it from Guyana. So it's just like that.
I want to read. Do we have a copy? 1 second, gentlemen. Do we have a copy of that audio that we could probably play from the Bank of Guyana? Could you gentlemen stand by? I'm going to play an audio that was released. This is a notice to the public by our central bank today. And I want you to tell me whether it has any pertinence to you guys. That's one. And two, maybe it could advise you. Could tell me what you think of it.
Sure.
You stand by, please.
Bank of Guyana notice. It has been brought to the attention of the Bank of Guyana that persons and entities not registered with BOG or the Guyana Security Council are holding themselves out to the public as investment brokers and offering financial products with extraordinary high rates of returns in excess of 10%. The bank would like to advise the public to invest only through entities registered by the BOG and the GSC. Companies registered with BOG, which are authorized to conduct investment business for the public, are Hand in Hand Trust Company Inc., Trust Company Guyana Limited, and the Guyana American Merchant Bank.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. You gentlemen heard that. Does that have any pertinence to the operations that you would have with the Guyanese
Not at
people?
all.
Not at
Not at all.
all.
I'll tell you why. We don't make any guarantees on anything that we offer. It's a school, right? So for example, if someone goes to, Morehouse College, or they go to a huge Ivy League university, they don't make guarantees, but they share with you what individuals who have graduated out of the school, what they have accomplished. So we share the success of people who have had tremendous experience on the platform, and they are now able to make the decision for themselves. So we don't trade people's money, nor do we make any guarantees whatsoever as to rate of return. So that is not us. But there are programs out there, I will let you know. I'm not going to throw any company underneath the bus, right? But I will let you know there are programs out there that make guarantees to people. There are a bunch of different schemes and scams that are out there, I'm going to be completely honest, that give people guarantees, and people who are not educated make decisions that obviously could impact them.
Yes, I don't want to ask you, gentlemen, whether it is okay sometime or the other, because as part of our responsibilities here as a radio station, as a media outfit, we try to educate our people of Guyana, and so we would probably want to bring our experts in. Maybe they could probably have a conversation with you on air, because this thing is legit, this thing is above board. Would you guys have any objection at some point in time or the other to have a conversation with those folks?
Absolutely, we'd love to do it. There's no objection to that. So once we have the opportunity, I was well prepared to show you guys exactly how the platform looks, so that people are very aware of what we have to offer.
Well, Mr. Ali did invite me in the past to be part of this program here, and of course I did turn him down. And of course we would want to engage in something like that as part of the educational process for all our people. So what I would like to say to you, I want to say thank you very much. I'm going to give you guys maybe a couple minutes each to maybe make some statements to the people of Guyana. I'm going to have to invite you back.
Sure.
Maybe we could engage the people of Guyana. It's a good platform to if something is really good for the people of Guyana that you would want to share. That's what our radio station does. So thank you very much for allowing us to probably engage you at a later date
Sure.
with some other folks, and then I just hand the mic over back to you guys. Maybe you would want to say something to the Guyanese people.
So Michael, go ahead and share really quickly, maybe some one or two testimonials of people within your organization that are having success in trading.
Sure, no problem, sir. Right. So, my name is Michael Ali, and this and all too has impacted my life tremendously. It increased my finances with the same skill set, right? So I attended the university for the past 3 years, learning on the platform, right, and following these educators. So while they are teaching you and you are using these strategies, right, I was able to be financially free and quit my full-time job as well. So, I'm having huge success. I have my own team, right, of individuals that we work together on the platform. I was hoping if I have a couple of them, about 3 of them on the call, if they could share for just probably 30 seconds. These are people from Guyana that we chosen. I don't know if you could let them probably share the real life testimonies.
No. We're not going to allow that today. Not today. There's going to be another time for that. We're going to allow that. I just wanted to get you on records here to make sure that it is a legit something. We're very serious about our people and the protection of our people in Guyana as a radio station, as a news media outfit. Everybody, I think we should have a very fair playing field, and that's what we're interested in. And of course, like I said before, there's going to be another opportunity in which you guys are going to be invited back, and so we could take it, maybe give you some more time, and you'd be able to have a bigger platform there. We're going to advertise it, and so many people could probably be able to participate in it also.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Mr. Gildarie, for the opportunity and this radio station. Thank you so much for allowing us to be on. We appreciate it very much. So we can clear the air, and God bless you guys as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for agreeing, and of course we will continue. I have Mr. Michael Ali's number there from Trinidad, and so it was what we were talking about is Forex trading, and this is taking a lot of people are interested in it. What does it really mean? How does it really work? And so we are going to continue the conversation with this. Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. You've been able to present your side of things. We're going to bring you back. We're going to inform you when is that time that we're ready. And so we could maybe have the conversation expanded from here. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. So there you would have had it, Mr. Michael Ali, and of course Mr. Sweeney, I think it is, all the way from Trinidad. And they would have been sharing with us, let me see if I got his pronunciation, Gary Maxween, who's a Caribbean leader of the I Am Mastery Academy, and Michael Ali, one of the platinum leaders, and they would have been pushing what we would call Forex training in Guyana. They have a school, an online school, where you do kind of Zoom meetings, and they'd be able to teach you how to do it. And they're saying that they're not involved, they're not pushing anybody. You're not forced to bring on other persons. That is just strictly a school. If you bring on, the more the merrier. So we are going to bring our people, our experts here, and they're going to have a conversation with the gentleman, the other folks that are involved. But in the meantime, while that is happening, that is with regards to that. There is another development when it comes to investments, and this morning we would have had a statement coming from, let me just pull it up here, bear with me folks. This is something that is very dear to a lot of people. Apparently, a lot of people went into it and they believe that it could make a lot of money. You would have heard. Could we play back that Bank of Guyana statement there, that audio, just for the sake of the people, and then we put this in context with the statement that came from Accelerated Capital Forum. It's a local forum that is owned by a former Cuban national. And they would have issued a statement, or controlled rather, by a former Cuban national living in Guyana. and they would have issued a statement. We had invited Mr. Yuri to this program here. What I could tell you is that earlier this year, the Guyana Security Council, as well, I think sometime last year, would have issued notices to the public to be very aware of Accelerated Inc. We did invite them. They said no, they agreed, and then they said no, we prefer to have a face-to-face meeting. Then they issued this statement today. Let's go to the Bank of Guyana statement.
Bank of Guyana notice. It has been brought to the attention of the Bank of Guyana that persons and entities not registered with BOG or the Guyana Security Council are holding themselves out to the public as investment brokers and offering financial products with extraordinary high rates of returns in excess of 10%. The bank would like to advise the public to invest only through entities registered by the BOG and the GSC. Companies registered with BOG, which are authorized to conduct investment business for the public, are Hand in Hand Trust Company Inc., Trust Company Guyana Limited, and the Guyana American Merchant Bank.
So there you would have had it, the Bank of Guyana issuing that statement there. And let me tell you, this is coming from Accelerated Capital Forum. Accelerated Capital Forum, ACF, has been operating in Guyana since 2019. This company has been transacting legal and transparent business from its inception with the necessary documentation of its existence and operations with every intention to abide by the laws, rules, and regulations of Guyana. Accelerated Capital Forum, Inc. reassures the public of its interest in a functioning and amicable relationship. Despite the deterrence of false information, slanderous allegations, the company wishes to engage and re-strengthen its presence in Guyana for the progression of mutually beneficial business relations. The company wants to assure its members that it will comply with the rules and regulations demanded by the relevant agencies, while its attorneys engage them in meaningful discussions to facilitate a fast resolution to the matter. ACF wishes to make it clear that at no time license to operate was ever denied, and that efforts will be made to continue to assist our members according to the strategies implemented. ACF wishes to thank all members and students for the remaining patient during this unfortunate delay. For the remaining patients, I think they have that a little wrong there. As a result of the pandemic situation, the company has a compensation plan in place for the delays, and those who seek more clarity or details of how to close total relations, we kindly ask that you make contact with our compliance department. Contact information stated on our website to schedule an available appointment. We work assiduously through our attorneys to resolve all the issues at hand. Let me say it, we would have asked Accelerated Inc. to come on board to tell us on radio here what's happening. They declined. They said they have a preference here to issue a statement. They did that. Let me tell you what we have learned so far. They have been operating, to our knowledge, based on what we've been hearing, what have been told to us by several investors. They only applied, or based on an application we saw last week, they made an application to the, I think it was, I'd have to find out if it's the Bank of Guyana. I think it was to the Bank of Guyana. They made an application. They want to have a broker's license. That's what they applied for. So when they said here that they were never turned down for a license, the fact is that the application for the license was only made last week. At least that's what the copy of the application that we saw. We understand that this matters before the authorities. We still open for Accelerated Capital Forum to have a conversation with us and let us put to rest the fears of 1-2 persons who would have been taken. But the company did say that it's willing to make amends. Not amends, sorry. The company has a compensation plan. That's what they're saying. So we're going to leave this here, but we wanted to make it very, very clear. I think there's going to be a story, a follow-up story based on this statement here in tomorrow's edition of Kaieteur newspaper. So you could pick up your copy there, Kaieteur newspaper, which is this company of Kaieteur Radio, and you could probably see the statement, and we put that in context for you there. So we're going to leave this here. This is a situation that we will continue to follow for the people of Guyana. I know that I've kept my co-host a little out there, but we have to do these things from
Yeah.
time to time. So if you're now joining us, it is the Wake Up Guyana show on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5. You could get us on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio, or you could get us on YouTube, Kaieteur Radio live stream. So we dare, we ask you to send your hello to 6222222. We want to hear what is bothering you today. We want to hear what is happening in your area, your community. This is your voice here today that we want to hear. So I'm going to hand it over to my good co-host, and maybe she has some things to tell you, maybe uplift her spirits a little.
Yes, we've got some good news in regards to COVID-19. Now, this is some international news. Russia has registered for the first time a COVID-19 vaccine. And this is some pretty good news, because it means now that the possibility exists that we can actually put a hand or get a hand on COVID-19. Now, the drug is said to provide protection against coronavirus for 2 years. And truth be told, we don't know exactly how long this virus is going to be around, but we know that once there is a vaccine, there is some amount of hope. So there's something that you can look forward to in the near future. All right? So we're going to move on. If you want to give us a call, if you've got issues that are affecting you, and you want to have them aired, maybe we can give you advice, maybe we can direct you to the necessary personnel. The number to call is 226-7453. That number again, 226-7453. Or you can, of course, give us a text on 62222, and we will try our best. Now, mind you, you all won't get through at one time, but we will try to facilitate as much as possible. Do we have a caller on the line? Caller, good afternoon. This is Wake Up Guyana. Good
Hello?
afternoon. Hi there.
Could I speak to Mr. Gildarie, please?
Yes, we on air. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, Mr. Gildarie. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, sir. Go right ahead.
This is Kaieteur Singh from Toronto, Canada.
Yes, sir. All the way.
I'm currently concerned with a dam with the Nozzle on the east coast of Demerara.
Yes.
There's a road there on the south side.
Uh-huh.
So there's used to transport paddies and rice.
Uh-huh.
So I would like the dam to get fixed, because I'm coming back there to build a home, and the truck can't go in there with paddy.
Have you contacted the NDC in the area and see maybe if they have it planned to have some repairs there?
No, because I'm trying to come to Guyana to build my home, but until the airport has been open.
What I would suggest that you do, sir, is make contact with the NDC that is charged with that area there, and maybe see whether they have it in the work plan to do some work there. Those are the people that would be in charge of that.
Oh, okay.
So maybe if you could get hold of them and ask them, maybe if they do not, because what they would do is listen to the people as part of the consultation process, and they would do up a work plan and put it in their budget.
Because I was trying to organize a truck ride to get sand and brick to start build my home there to come back and live. But see, the condition of the road is very bad.
Yes, yes. Well, all right. Make contact with the NDC. Make contact with the NDC there, and just tell them that you want it fixed and you want it to be put into the work program, and see whether.
Any phone numbers or be contact from here?
Pardon?
There any phone number concerned with the NDP for make contact?
What you could do is send us a text. Send us a text to 6222222, and we are going to get some numbers and send it to you.
Okay then.
Thank you very much, sir, and a good day to you all the way from Toronto.
I want you to tell Dr. Yog hi
Yes.
for me.
Yes, I will do that.
Watch you guys' program from Toronto here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, and have a great evening.
Thank you very much, dear, and to all the good folks who are listening to us in Canada, and of course in the U.S. A good day to you. We hope that you guys are finding it a little better. I understand some part of Queens was without power for a couple of days. It was very tough. The weather is very hot across there. There's after Isaiah, tropical storm Isaiah, give some parts a good beating there. So I hope that that problem has been rectified. Some parts of Queens would have been affected for several days there. But before that, I want to say to the people of Guyana, if you've missed last evening's show, room 592, Dr. Yog Mahadio, we would have had a couple of persons. We were looking at the Trinidad situation, but during that show also, we would have had Dr. Frank Anthony, the Minister of Health, and what he had to say was not so very complimentary to the situation of COVID-19 in Guyana. He was very worried. In fact, he talked about the seawall. His people were gathered sitting right next to each other. There were some photographs that surfaced over this weekend. And I can't understand why we keep doing this to ourselves. We've closed the borders. We've closed the airports. And when I'm saying we closed the borders, we stated that we closed it because people say crossing like as if they're crazy. I'm not sure. People going across, coming, and it looks as if they're being facilitated by the authorities and some village leaders. We hearing that. Now, here the thing is, why would you close the airport and the borders and still be on seawall sitting next to each other? Why don't we have it wide open and then go back as normal? We have got to be very, very careful. The numbers have been keeping rising all the time. I think we're going to be hitting the 600 mark in a very
Pretty
short
soon,
while.
yeah.
They are going to be, according to the Minister Frank Anthony, is that there's going to be more number of tests. He did indicate that they are going to have more machines to do the tests. They're doing like about 80 right now per day. They're hoping to ramp it up, but there's some machines. In fact, there's one case, he said some machine came in the wharf in the midst of the COVID and was left on the wharf. I mean, these are some of the things
Yeah.
that's shocking. But what is important is that he had several things to say last evening. If you missed it, is you could get that on Kaieteur Radio live stream or Kaieteur Radio on Facebook. And the live stream is on YouTube. You could be able to look at it back there, and you're going to hear some of the things that he's saying. But with regards to one of the important things is that he's warning about the reopening of school. He says, we have to look at the situation here. They're working on some plans, so we have to keep you posted as it develops here. I know that the Ministry of Education would have been meeting with the various technical persons to see how best that they could roll out these things. So they're looking at some hybrid systems. They're looking at maybe have children 6 feet apart if they could probably do it in such a way. Maybe have half of the class in the room, maybe have another half in the afternoon. All these things they're playing with. So let us see how that goes. So back over to you.
All right, before we get back to the lines, I want to say good afternoon to our dear friend Ken, all the way from the Netherlands. I don't know if you could remember, Ken gave us a call the other day.
Yes, all the way there.
All the way from the Netherlands. So good afternoon to you, Ken, and good afternoon to everybody. They're tuning in, they're streaming us online on Facebook and YouTube, and even those of you that are listening via your radios. Good afternoon to all of you. We're going to head to the phone lines now. Caller, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Hi there.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. You on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Gildarie, I was listening to your program when I already was saying about Diamond when the police were standing there and there was a hole in the road.
A big hole, a big crater.
Right. My concern with the police is that, it is disgusting that, I've been to a few countries and you don't see police on the road the way you see police in this country.
It's a big hustle, my friend. We don't beat around the bush with it. Let's say it as it is.
Yes. Yeah, they're doing it. They're deliberately coming out to hustle with people for money. You understand? I don't understand. I got to travel through this country every single day and stop by the police four times, 4 different places at the least. on a daily basis, 365 days a year. I can't understand what's going on in this country.
The whole was right in front of them. And last night I did see it. I got to go take the picture when I'm going home this evening. But they're standing in front of the hole, and nobody's reporting it. I'm not. And you stand in front of the hole, and you're more concerned with the speed that vehicle is coming with. You should be concerned if they hit the hole, they'll probably fly straight into you. I mean, I can't.
Yes.
It boggles my mind.
Yeah, somebody could have hit the hole and riding straight into them, but they don't concern about that.
No.
I think that we need to talk about this serious. With, the way the police is operating on the public road is a disgusting thing, and particularly when you go outside, you would hear when people in different countries talk about when they come to this country and the way the police behave towards them.
Let me tell you something, and you're right. You hit the nail on the head there. One of the things that baffles me, and you see people complain about it, they would have been complaining. You could call the police in the nights, and I can't blame them if there's no police officer. We had them working 5 months straight. They were when I say 5 months straight, these people were in line at the police stations here. They barely see the family maybe who could get away for a few hours or so seeing the thing. Now they're there on the very horrendous conditions. But when you call in the night, there's not a vehicle available, there's not there's not a cop available. A CID does not work in the night, but you got to come back the next day and so on. But you could find the time to stand up in the middle of the road to stop vehicles up and down. Yes, I understand you got to do controls, but you understand what I'm saying? It's how it looks to the public.
Yes. Yeah, you can't find them in the night, but they are always in the road in the day. But I was listening to a program where I already hear a senior policeman was making comments about they didn't have enough vehicles. I could recall how much vehicle was given to them by the Chinese government, and what they do with it, they destroy it because now for these young policemen, when they come in force, they don't know how to drive. They take the vehicle, they learn with it, they break them up, and when they gotta use it for do the job for the country and the people of the country, they ain't got nothing. They break up everything.
And let me tell you this: you raise a very good point there with maintenance, the issue of maintenance. I think I mean, people driving along the East Bank. I could use the East Bank as a good example. I was up the East Coast, I think, over the weekend, and I love the East Coast Road, the way that they have it there. You could drive. It's really nice driving along till up to about I think Golden Grove, the Victoria area there. Beautiful driving. But guess what? In a couple of years, it's going to need maintenance. What kind of maintenance program do we have? I mean, somebody got to pick up the phone and call you at the Ministry of Public Works to tell you that that there's a hole in the road or several holes. That's one. Two, where is the NDC in this entire thing? Isn't somebody seeing? I mean, who drives along? There's supposed to be somebody's supervisor or somebody who's in the maintenance department driving along the road to see whether, we need to do something. But guess what? Nobody cares. It looks as if the slapdash, I think my father used to be using that word. It's like slapdash, don't care, damn kind of attitude. That's what we have. That's what we do right now. We need to change all of that. We need to get serious people in the job. No square pegs. Definitely not 50 people, contract workers working for 800 million. How much a million it is?
800 million.
800 million, 50 contract workers doing political work. How do we do these things? And people starving?
Imagine that.
I mean, I quarrel for you. I don't know why I quarrel for you.
No, what you were saying, they make some sense. I can't see how these people in this NDC and this regional office sitting down on a simple hole on the road that is left and remain there while they're damaging people's property and creating and causing accidents. And they would wait until they get budget the next year to come and fix a simple hole. You understand? Maintenance is very important. You got to do maintenance on a regular basis. And two things, it's looking bad for the country. Who are the people who run the country? They don't feel bad to know that, well, you're responsible for this, and this thing is on the road, and how it's looking. And then at the same time, it's damaging people's property, and it could cause accidents. So maintenance is very important.
Absolutely, dear. And I know that Mr. Juan Edgel is a very serious man. I saw him in action in Parliament. I believe I could say that Indar seems to have a very inquiring mind, Minister Indar, Deodat Indar. So let's see where this goes, but we are going to continue to pester them as people of Guyana to ensure that these things be looked at.
Okay, thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much for coming through there, sir. So it is. We got to start, and the guy is so right. The police. I mean, if you listen to us, Mr. Hoppy, I think Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Hoppy, please, this is something we seem to be singing the same song, Danielle. We seem to be
Yeah.
singing the same song every time there's a new commissioner in place or new management. Please look into this, and then we raise up. We do things right a couple morning, and then you come back. The same rotten apples are the ones who goes out there. They have minibuses driving on the road. They own minibuses, they own taxis, and these people could do anyway. I heard Glenn Lal, I think a day or two back, talking about passengers sitting in buses and the driver said light it up, the smoking marijuana in the bus and
Yeah.
drive. What is happening with our people? Where are your voices? Why are we allowing this a couple of people, the tail to be wagging the dog? Why do we allow certain people, couple of people driving, I mean a minibus driver and a conductor, they get some decent ones.
Yeah, they are.
But the
There are.
majority of them don't care. They pull out, they pull in, they just drop, just like you stop in the middle of the road and you look at them and it's as if, why are you raising this issue with me? It's as if you did the biggest wrong and you dare not, they're above the law because the
Yeah.
police own the minibuses. Can't get away from it. Let's get real about this. Over to you, Danielle.
All right. Since we're talking about police officers, we've got a message here coming in from Region 3. They're saying, "Good afternoon. We are being harassed by the cops on the road, and they have the heaviest tinted cars out there. It's something that has been happening for forever, if you can say forever. Police officers, the rogue ones, of course, they're the ones that are out there harassing people, pulling people over for small things, when in fact the things that they should be looking at,
Absolutely.
they're
And
not
so,
looking at.
so we want to say a good day before we head to the phone lines again, all the way to Molson Creek. How you guys doing there? Skeldon, Rose Hall, Port Morant, New Amsterdam. How you guys doing there? And of course, we go to Myconi and to my good folks there down in Drill, Quakers the Bat area there in Myconi. A good day to you folks. And across to the West Them. How the West Side people are doing there? And then the Esquimalt Coast, Pomeroon. How you guys doing there? I want to say good day. I hope that you're having good weather. Take care. Use the roads safely. If you're using the waterways, make sure that you pay attention to the rules and the regulations. Keep your side, not to speed. There's smaller people, smaller boats there. You gotta be very careful. We have to take care. Be very aware. Over to you, Denali.
All right, we're gonna head back to the phone lines. We don't have any callers. Remember, if you wanna give us a text, the number that you send your WhatsApp messages and even your SMS messages is 6222222, and give us a call on 226-7453. Time check, it is 14 hours 27, and we have a caller on the line. Caller, good afternoon to you.
Yes, good afternoon to you, madam. Good afternoon, Leonard.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, I'm kindly calling again to ask you if there was any movement with the Bank of Guyana and these MoneyGram and Western Union folks.
We did try to reach out. Apparently, I think there were some engagements. We have to pick it up back again. What I could tell you, what we were told, there's very little that you could do. These are independent operators. They have their, how you say it, they have their fees and so that it's charged. But it is something we'd have to, because you can't make it that is so much that you charge an exchange rate that is $190 something or so. I hear you. We are going to pick it up. Let's make a note of that and call back again and see if there's anything that they could do. We pick it up back again. It's
Yeah,
an issue.
Leonard, I wrote them sometime last week, and I speak to one of the person from the supervisory department for the supervision, Mr. Raj. Mr. Raj, that's his name. And he said he's looking into it also. So I would be very, very thankful of your help. As normal, you all are so helpful to the Guyanese people, because it smells of something dangerous. Because if MoneyGram is giving 202 and Western Union is giving 201.50, 50 cents is the difference, and the bank are giving you 213.5. Isn't there something different?
And then there's a fee too. So, we
Yeah,
have
exactly.
to look at it. There have to be some kind of, you know what? We probably have to talk to the competition commission as well, because I think when it comes to fair trading, fair practices, there got to be some rules as there. I think there's some protection for consumers, and you can't do it not because you're the monopoly, like what we've seen from GT&T, what you
And
see happening
digital.
from GT&T and Didsell and so on. These people just refuse, and this is big money we're talking about here.
Exactly.
GT&T has done the people the service in Guyana. It's unbelievable. I hope that the president is paying attention. I don't want to burden him too much, but should be one of the big things. We allow new companies to come in here.
No, Leonard, I am writing the president also. I am in the process of writing the president also because you imagine for more than 2 months now, GTT has not cut. If you want some money or want some credit from me and I have it, I can't send it over to you because the app is not working. They said money laundering is taking place on the app. If you know that, report it or go to the police with it. How can we as Guyanese suffer like this?
The money laundering. If
Yeah,
I
that's
want
why they close off the app.
oh, I got to check that out, man. I didn't know that.
The app is not working for 2 months now. 2 months now, it's not working. Because if you ask me for some credit and I have it, I can't send it over to you anymore because the app is not working.
Let's make a note of that, right? I mean, look at. All right, thank you very much, dear sir, and keep us. We're gonna try to get some
Leonard, y'all have
answers.
a
So
good day,
many
sir.
questions that we
Y'all
gotta
keep up the
ask,
good
man.
work.
Thank you
Keep
very
up the
much,
good
sir.
work.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, yeah, so we've got a couple of messages coming in as well. Of course, persons are still asking, is it possible for school to reopen in September with COVID-19? And as you would have mentioned, we had the Minister of Health on room 592 last night, and he was saying that, he is going to look into this matter. They have certain things that they have to take into consideration, but from the looks of it,
It's a difficult thing
yeah.
because let me tell you back. We've been this is something that we've been clamoring for. Many parents, you have parents. It's a natural thing you want to know when school is going to reopen, but there's so many things to take into consideration. I think Frank Anthony, the Minister of Health, last evening would have made it very clear that there's so many conditions or circumstances you would have to look into. These kids would have to be seated in minibuses or maybe
Yeah.
public transportation. When they come in there, who's going to be looking at them if they decide to interact with somebody through the gate, buy two chicken foot or whatever it is. So when you're in actual class, the teachers are moving. So there's a lot of interaction that's going to be there. And how do you control such a situation? And you don't want to do it back because kids, I'd hate to think or even to imagine seeing a little kid, a little child, a little school child with COVID-19. How is it going to be? Because if you listen to what COVID-19, when you're in the full throes of it, how it affects you, the sense it's literally that you stifle to death. That your the fluids and everything, it blocks everything, and then you slowly your organs fail and your body just shut down after that. You're gonna have failure, respiratory failure. So it was made very clear that it's not an easy decision for the reopening of school. It has to be done. I'm not sure whether it's something we should be thinking about now, especially with the figures rising, and it is expected to rise more.
And just something on COVID-19. Now, we don't want to scare people. The signs and symptoms, they're different. What you might experience, I might not experience. And remember, if you have underlying medical conditions, then it will affect you differently. Let's say, if I were to get it or if you were to get it, we are both going to experience, different symptoms. Do we have a caller on the line? Caller, good afternoon. This is Wake Up Guyana. Good afternoon, caller.
Hi, a pleasant good afternoon to you, Leonard and Danielle.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, on the topic of reopening the schools, I don't think it's a good idea. You see, currently schools are closed, right? And as I raised the topic, I raised an issue recently about the parks, the crowds, the markets, and so on. If you open the schools, you're going to create a larger crowd. And then people are not, every day more and more people slacking up on what they're supposed to do. Every day, more and more. The stores in Regent Street, the markets, and so on. So if you open the schools, you're going to bring out a larger force of people. Right? You're going to bring out teachers, you're going to bring out students. Then we got to take into consideration transportation. Majority of students use buses to go home. And by law, you can't carry the full 15 seats. Right? You gotta carry how much is I think it's 7-ton minibus. Now a lot of buses are not adhering to that because the gas, the cost of living, wherever they're still packing up the buses and people still going with the buses. So if you open the schools, you're gonna create a congestion, right? And opening the school when school overs, when you go to the parks and get a bigger crowd, then children will want to go home. Because let me tell you, a lot of people don't get to come home within a timely manner. Because when you go to the parks, right, some of the buses carry the 15 people in the seats, some carry the 7. What do you think happened? Those who carry the 7 in the buses, they full quickly and they go. And then there's a large crowd keep building up on the parks. And a gentleman made a recommendation on the program about using the radio and the television and so on and keep the kids at home. And I think that is a very good idea. Use the state media and the television and so on and everything and teach through the medium. Because a lot of people ain't working. Then you got to find passage and send children to school. You got to get snacks for them and all kind of things. So a lot of things got to take into consideration. A lot of things you got to look at before, you could send open back schools. Because, look, even construction sites, I'm into construction, right? And even in construction sites, a lot of people don't want to work. The reason being, some construction sites just space out, right? You got 4 carpenters there, you got 6 masons there, whatever. But when the end of the day, when you finish, you got to leave work, you got to catch bus. You got to go through the park, you got to go through the market, you got to go in crowd. And a lot of people don't want to take the chance. Yeah, so every single thing in what we got to think about, it got to think about in consideration with the COVID-19. No matter what, any aspect, any business, anything, is always a COVID you got to consider. And the figures keep rising. The figures are rising.
It's going to go up more. It is going to go up more, the expectations. We will be conducting more tests in the coming weeks.
What I think, this is just my view, right? But what I think what might gotta happen is that you might gotta get like a week lockdown to do a proper assessment and proper testing and, try to do some tracing. I don't know how it could be done, but I think you're going to make an announcement before the time required so people could set themselves, buy up your goods or whatever and organize themselves and do a complete lockdown for like a week. And, so you could open systematically, do testing systematically because the way how things going in the country with this COVID and people don't really care, it's going to keep rising and putting people at risk. But that is just my opinion, my wild view.
I thank you very much for that. And what I could tell you, sir, what is ridiculous, totally ridiculous, that we asking our pharmacies to close. Well, I think they say that you could have opened somewhat. But the supermarkets, everybody's closing and the rum shop open. Don't you think that is ironic?
Sir, it's ridiculous because, let me tell you, I live on the East Coast, right? There are some supermarkets and pharmacy right in my area, right? They operate as if it doesn't exist because they have a business. These people, they are accustomed to. Let me tell you what goes on. These people are accustomed to a certain lifestyle, right? Let me give you an example what really goes on. I'm going to use a grocery shop, for example, right? There are some people, they have the kids and so on. They are accustomed to a lifestyle. I don't want to use lavish, but I think that is the best word. Now, they have the internet, the Wi-Fi, their children got cars, they got a mortgage, they rent, they this and that. Now, picture this. You are accustomed to a lifestyle for you, your family, your kids, whatever, right? And you got a shop, you sell groceries. Now, this COVID thing jumping, right? It start affecting people's work. People ain't getting for earn. People ain't got to cut back on buying certain things, right? Because you got to keep money. You can't spend money like how you used to spend before. Now, remember, these people are accustomed to a certain lifestyle. What do you think these grocery people and these supermarket people do? They jack up the prices, price gorging, right? You understand what I'm trying to get at? They jack up the prices so that they could make their profits so they could continue with their lifestyle. And the small man now, punishing for buy things. You don't getting job. You don't generating the income you're supposed to generate. Sometimes getting a two day in a week, a 3 day in a week. You got to cut back on a lot of things. But the shops now, they're jacking up the price. You could imagine milk jump from 400 a pound. The natural milk jump from 400 a pound to 480, 460. Flour raise, sugar raise. The basic.
How much is pound chicken? Now I understand chicken has gone up too. Chicken scarce?
Well, yes, chicken it's scarce. Here what happened due to the flood. A lady lose over about $4.5 million worth in chicken. But the ridiculous thing is, you chicken shortage and you selling chicken, so you gotta raise the price of chicken so that you could continue living your life and paying your bills and your mortgage at people's expense. If you understand what I'm telling you.
No, of course, and
So
the
it's really
price gouging,
ridiculous.
man, it's bad.
And it's your own fellow Guyanese brethren doing this to you. And let me tell you, a lot of issues I would like to bring to light. They got a lot of things going on in the country. You see, in terms of work as well. You see, these foreign nationals that are in this country here, they're taking away the jobs, even in construction side. Let me tell you what goes on with construction. A contractor, right? You want to build something, Mr. Leonard, all right, you got $10 million. You give a contractor $10 million to build something for you, right? A trade man will work for $7,000, $8,000. A laborer will work for $5,000. You know what he said? Israeli chaps then come in and do an aviation or so. These chaps doing skilled work for $3,000. $4,000, good skill work, but because they don't care, they want the job. Contractor now, he can take them, knock off the Guyanese people, he can take them and get the work done. He can get more money in his pocket. We not going to get nothing. The nationals ain't going to get it. And you still got to spend you $10 million. Because of what goes on, a lot of we ain't getting work because of these nationals. And a lot of these Venezuelans are taking away the jobs. Even in the stores, the Venezuelans that could speak English and Spanish, they're taking away all the jobs as well. They're working for far cheaper because they want the job, and we guys isn't getting work.
Well, I thank you very much for that, and that's a good topic there that you've raised, and we're going to continue it.
All right, Mr. Leonard. Enjoy all day, Danielle.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Danielle, we got a couple of issues here, and folks, I want to hear from the housewives. How is it? We want to hear. I've been hearing a lot of reports about people raising the price or the supermarkets pushing up the prices for goods, basic items. What the gentlemen here, things like milk and garlic and the normal things that you would buy, everything gone up. Chicken gone up, everything gone up.
And
so
it started when the pandemic reached the shores of Guyana. Because I don't know if you could remember with the Lysol spray. Remember how the cost of the Lysol spray
but there's some
up.
advantage being taken by some supermarkets too. That are doing that. They're taking advantage of the people. So if there's any housewives out there, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear how what's it that you're experiencing. Give us a call here on 226-74. 7453 226-7453, or keep sending those texts to 62222. We want to hear you, and we have Danielle is going to be reading them out to you. Over to you, Danielle.
All right, we have another caller on the line. Caller, good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm calling from Zealot.
Zealot, yes.
I'm the lady who called recently and tell you about my transport. I'll call you back to tell you, right? That I agree with that man who just called. When you go to the shop, the money that you have to pay for something, when you go before election and them time, right? Things used to their normal price. And now when you go to the shop, you can't afford to buy things because the things them raised so high to the supermarket and the shop, right? You cannot afford because some things where you used to pay $200 for or $120, now you're paying $260 for it. The onion is $140, $120. Garlic is $300. Sugar is there. No sugar making, right? All these things there. Chicken is $460 a pound. When you go to buy something now, you can't afford it with the little money that you have. And it's really hard because I don't know what the supermarket are raising these things for. Because I don't know if the company raised anything from them to them.
I could tell you somebody telling us that eggs now, a tray of eggs is $1,300, more from $800.
Yes, of course, because here, I'm calling you, I ain't lying to you. I have a little business, right? Ageable as I tell you, I'm 60, my husband is 61, my husband not working, he used to work bush. But he's not working no more, we're not getting help. And we depend on this little shop, and I just sell all those little things, right? Egg is, this size is $1,300 a tree. When you buy the egg, you gotta sell like a 2 or 4 for $200, people don't want to buy it.
I mean, imagine that a lot of people lose a job. So if you're saddled with losing a job, you can't buy from the supermarket because you don't have the money. And then in addition, what you used to buy before, you can't buy it because the price raised.
No,
We get a
because
beat from all around there, you know.
yes, a zealot. I'm telling you, zealot,
Oh.
tuition scheme and so right. There we go in and buy everything. I mean, you have enough supermarkets around the area, really expensive. You cannot afford it. And then again, the next thing I want to ask you, Leonard. My husband and me is ageable already, right? My husband I work and I get sickly because I am a diabetic. And then after this morning, I went to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to go and do some X-ray and so, but they say I must go back tomorrow to do the test and Thursday to do the X-ray, right? But what I'm saying, I'm calling you for action, I'm begging you. I know at the age of 50, when was Jack Derry used to give pension 50, at the age of 55, right?
Mm-hmm.
And since the other new government going, you raise them to 65. And we's not getting help nowhere. So I said, man, I'm going to ask you, and I don't know if you could do anything about it because we don't get ageable already.
Man, I've been asking Mr. Jagdeo to give me a raise or something, and he hasn't really answered my phone. No, but I got to, but to be serious, I got to ask. We got to seek some clarity. I know they're looking at several. One of the things that we've been calling for is to make sure that the oil money that we're getting, the little that they targeted at especially vulnerables, the senior citizens, the single parents, and the others who might have lost their jobs and so on, not getting jobs. So these are things, and I agree with you. I'm really, really sorry. I mean, I hate to think that I'm reaching 60 something. I don't have a job, and then I'm dependent on $25,000 in public assistance, and we're talking about people who are fortunate to receive those kind of money. There's a lot of people who are not getting, and that's why it's important also, ma'am, to let us start educating our people that need to pay their NIS. A lot of people are working, maybe have a mechanic shop and nobody sees it wise to pay your NIS and the taxes and so on, because now you get 60 something and then you can go to NIS. You would have gotten the NIS and you would have gotten the old age pension and whatever public assistance you could get something and build it up. A lot of people are not getting that. So, it's really, really, we have to start educating our people a little more. And I'm glad that you raised those issues. But I'm going to, as we get these issues here, we're going to seek clarification. We're going to bring on the ministers. We're going to bring on those people, and we're going to educate our people.
Yeah, I know it's really tough now for, that the president got to do this and do that. At the same time, now you cannot, you got to go.
Mm-hmm. Good day. So thank you.
Build dam, right?
Yeah, 1-1. Let's see what happened. It's not going to be easy for Dr. Finale as the president.
I know.
He has a very tough call there, a very tough role to play because he's going to have to deal with COVID-19. That's a big issue. They would have to find the money. They would have to deal with the economy. They would have to push us through this period here. And then, of course,
it's rough. It's rough now for now. It's rough, very, very rough for him now.
Yeah, it is.
Because we know the situation where the country was in now, present now.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I called. But this morning, I'm telling you, I was traveling bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And many of the people in the bus not wearing masks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when you go to the hospital, they test you outside before you go in. But what? Trying to police them on the road, just stopping and checking people's license, and then checking, the bus if you wear mask.
I weary. Every time you tell me about police, like I see red. I see all kind of things in my eyes. They don't tell me anything about police. So thank you very much, caller, all the way from Zealot. We would have had some very good people joining us, and they are raising those issues. But you're right. One of the things we got to start pushing, Danielle, plant a little garden. You could save some money from little things like pepper, thyme. What do you call the thing? Basil. I think we used to know it as madman pork. What do you know it as?
Say madman pork.
We know it as Raj. Raj come all the way from India. I'm not sure he must be saying that I'm cursing him at the moment. But no, my brother. It's a little thyme. It looks something like that. It's very, very. It smells nice, actually. So. But we got to start planting our little garden, the little things that we would be spending a lot of money. We could save a little $5,000-6,000 per month just buying those things.
And then a plus side to that is that you know what you're putting into your body. It's going to be organic, it's going to be clean and free from, fertilizers and all these chemicals that some of the farmers would use out there. So it has a lot of health benefits. We want to say good afternoon to the folks in Essequibo. They have been texting us all afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon to Essequibo. We love you and thank you so much for showing us your love and support as well. We've got an update from the Ministry of Education. I know that the minister has been meeting over the past couple of days with various agencies across the country, and now we were informed that the ministry, along with all these agencies, they are working very hard to ensure that content is created to be broadcasted on the local airways as well as the Learning Channel. They are working to prepare stuff from nursery year 1 all the way up to grade 11, which we know is fifth form. So that is one thing out of the way. They will be working. They will have programs, daily programs, and so learning is going to be taking place.
Yes, we got to start doing something. Don't depend on the government to do everything. If you could do a little of something, if you could be a little, I went all the way to my Coney drill last weekend. I had to see my grandmother is ill and she's 80 something. I feel she's really very, very ill. But I was there and the gentleman that's there, my family is telling me, I'm ill. He's also not doing so well, but he says, you know what? I love fishing. He says every time that I have chance, I go with my cast and he bring in two big bags, and he's showing me his cast nets in the bag, and so I want to go fish too. But we have to start doing things a little differently, start thinking differently. How could we, cut our expenses down? This COVID-19 is going to teach us some very valuable lessons, Danielle, and so let's see where that goes. But here, my good friends are here. Bass is telling me Bounty is reporting a shortage of chicken. A bag of rice is $3,800. I presume these are small bags. Potato, $3,500. Eggs, $1,300 a tray. Chicken is almost $400 a pound. I hear it's more than that in some areas. Garlic, $300 a pound. How much is garlic? I think a pound was about $100 or so. $300, onion $180. So if you don't have money and now you got to pay more for grocery, we're getting hit from all sides. It's really we gotta stay strong. I think if COVID is gonna be over tomorrow morning, let's say there's gonna be a lot of crazy people out there because this thing is a lot of stress.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stress here, and I think Raj is looking at the stress too. Raj has shaved his beard. I came in the studio. I couldn't recognize him yesterday morning, and Raj is okay. Welcome to Guyana. You could keep your beard too, Thank you. But let's go to the calls. Are there any calls there? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You in here?
Yeah, good afternoon. Just one thing I want advice, not advice, a little suggestion.
Yes, sir.
These young people, everybody want to get jobs. We agree, but I think the government should release the people them about 60 and pay them a pension or old age. So the young ones could get for come in to mix with the old one and get a little experience so the old one could roll out. So I got thinking about paying old age to 60 so people can get a little money. So they come back off till they reach age, so the young ones could come in. The young ones can't come in with the old one them there in.
Yeah, it's a good question. We have an aging population now. Something I was thinking of that a couple of days back. I was looking at it. Look, this every time there's school, they're writing exams. How many? About 15,000 persons.
Yeah, getting one and a certificate and thing they work.
Right. So they coming out there, and then you got a bunch of people that's supposed to be retiring. So we don't have that. For a long time, the police force wasn't doing any kind of upward promotion, and they had a man named Larry Lewis. He was there for about 20 years. I can't remember. The commissioner of police for a very long time. These are the stupidity things that we have to start looking at because it is going to hamper the system. But I'm a little worried. We have a bunch of kids who are going to have results in a very short while. They have nowhere to go. The school is not.
On the street.
Yeah, I think we're going to be in some trouble in terms of the workforce and maybe the labor department. And so there's some big challenges as a country because the jobs, we're not creating the jobs as fast as we can. So we're going to have some people who are going to be at home, who's going to be staying at home.
And they ain't got no money for buying nothing. Maybe
No,
I'm
it's
thank
hard,
you
my
that
brother. It's
later.
hard. It's hard. It's very, very hard. Thank you very much,
Thank
my
you.
brother. God bless. So all the way from St. Martin, how you doing, Camille, Davy, Mohan? Thank you very much for joining us, dear. And of course, see a lot of people talking with plant sweet potatoes, Edos, cassava, plantains. Everybody start thinking. This is the kind of
Yeah.
conversation that we have to have. Let us go back because there was one time, I think it was with Barnum, that was saying, oh, you ban flour, ban split peas and all kind of thing, and you tell us to plant local. A lot of people cost him, but maybe what he did should not have banned it, but should have really aggressively, because for Indians, a lot of Indians, they like the plant, they like the rice, the flour and the rotis and things like that. I think what Barnum really wanted to do was to push the local grow more local, which is something that is tried many times by the Ministry of Agriculture. But if your heart not in it, you ain't gonna get it right. So I think we really got to start pushing in a different way. How do you encourage? Maybe we start giving a little incentives to the people
Yeah.
that maybe could be a tax write-off. Let's start thinking innovative ways.
There's so
of doing
many
it.
things, so many
Right, right,
things you
right.
can think about. All right, it is now 14 hours to 55. We're going to head back to the phone lines in just a few, but we've got some messages coming in. They're talking about the cost of living. They say it has significantly risen since the COVID-19 pandemic hit. And I heard you. I heard a lot of persons talk about the cost of chicken and how it has gone up. But for a lot of persons out there, that is normal. And I'm saying this. I'm not saying that. First of all, let me put it out there. I'm not saying that it's not going to affect you. But what I'm saying is that for some people out there, that's normal for them. And I can speak on behalf of Bartica. In Bartica, a pound of chicken would be $500, $600 the most, just for a pound of chicken. And then we have eggs going all the way to $1,800 and then $2,000. So the cost of living, yes, COVID-19 has had a negative impact on the cost of living for many persons out there. But like you said, we should invest in our own little kitchen gardens. We are going to save a lot of money and we are going to be healthier people at the end of the day. We're going to head to the phone lines now. Caller, good afternoon. You're on air. We lost that caller. All right, so another issue that we have coming out is GPL. They said since COVID-19, GPL has not been reading meters and they've been estimating your bill and doubling up the amount. And when you go into query, they say you have to pay whatever it is that they would have estimated. And I know something similar would have happened to you. Correct?
Poor old me, barely getting a salary from Leonard. And the people then put $10,000 on my bill. And I said, what is this? I got to ask Rats to borrow some money. But this is GCOM chair, Lucas, Mr. Lucas, Raw Lucas, whatever.
GWI, yeah.
No, this is, I think this is GPL, Guyana Power and Light.
Yes.
This is the chairman, Raw Lucas. He used to be the chairman at one point in time of the Guyana Revenue Authority. He would have resigned today. And some of these political appointees, as they are now being called. And let me tell you this, I don't want to see this. I would hate to see this 5 years from now. If you are back in a political party, you are a political appointee, and you know that your political party is lost 5 years from now. I hope, let's say, the People's Progressive Party lose the next 5 years. It should not be that somebody has to tell you to resign. You should do it off your own because that is what a good society does. And so when you see things like this, that one person would have seen it, but other person standing on the platform, campaigning every day and still remaining a people's job, you ain't got shame, boy. I think some people would say, you ain't got no shame in your face.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. Let us be very, very clear. We got to understand what are the rules of the games.
Mm-hmm.
We got to understand where the sidelines are. And as we move forward as a country, let us educate ourselves. What are the rules? Because it is going to be important. What we're seeing right now, a couple of people knowing that they have to go, saying, look, he's fired me because I'm of a different ethnicity. These are the kind of people that I don't want to be around.
Hmm.
Because, when you see that and you say, well, wait a minute, this thing has all to do with politics, so race has to come into it. It has to do with you moving on and me coming in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does race have to do with it? But that is, I mean, I see it and I shake my head in disgust because the people that I think that should have known better, they're the ones that are intelligent people that went to UG, that were very outspoken, standing up there talking nonsense. And I ask myself, like the Prime Minister, a couple of ministers, I don't know, these are former ministers. How are they going to face the people with the nonsense that would have transpired a
Mm.
couple of weeks back?
Yeah.
And I have good friends too who stopped talking to me. Why? Because we sitting here at the radio station, you're talking it as it is. This has nothing to do with which political party is in there. We're talking here with the rule of law.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with that, nothing else. If the thing says that Danielle has to go out of the room and Danielle does not go out of the room, you have a problem. The rule says that you have to step out. You have lost the elections. Everybody says that you've lost it. But guess what? Guess what? You're the only one that's saying that you have won. Now, we're not saying that you don't have a recourse of dealing with it, but recourse, you go to petitions court.
Hmm.
And so, the rule of law is very, very important. We have to pay attention to these things. Over back to our people.
All right, before we head to the lines again, we've got an update for the persons that have been texting in about their house lots. Some persons would have said they would have applied since the early 2000s and they haven't received word from the ministry. Well, the Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell, he would have made mention that they have over 62,000 house applications pending, and the Ministry of Housing and Water
60,000.
over 62,000.
Yes, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. So they are working to get those numbers down. So for persons out there that have applications pending, don't lose hope. Have faith. Your application will be looked at.
Let me
no
tell
time.
you. Let me tell you, and you raise a very good point there. I could remember your finale as the Minister of Housing back in 2015, leading up to 2015. One of the things that I liked here, because I used to cover housing as a reporter downstairs, and so from time to time you'd go there. I love the fact that they had one day put aside. I can't remember it was Wednesday or Thursday of the week that you could actually go in and see the minister. There's a public day thing they used to call it. You actually go in and see the minister. I did see Minister Colin Crowell, I think it is the Minister of Housing,
Yeah.
on Saturday with the swearing in, the inauguration at the Natural Cultural Center. And I said, sir, I think one of the things that you would find it wise is maybe the introduction of those public days again, because many people, if you don't call us and ask us how you could get a house lot. I don't know. I haven't been hired by this government as yet. I just kidding there. Mr. Lally, if you're listening to me, it's all a joke. Danelli put me up to it, and so. But look, if you need a house lot, if you want to have maybe one of those turnkey homes, which I presume is still part of the program of this government or whatever program it is, if you don't have an application, you can't maybe have one of those house lots, and you must have an application. If you've already owned lands or properties, it's going to be very difficult because these are for people who are renting, who never had a home. It is open for them, but you must have an application in the system, and you can be able to write letters and follow up with them. But having said that, the extension of that statement that I'm making to you, Danelli, is that we need all our ministers to start meeting with our people. A lot of questions now. I know there's a lot of work. They've hit the ground running. They've been meeting over the weekends, and so every single day, because with this COVID thing is really, really taking the attention, what would have been routine duties that you would have dealt with housing. Now you're not only dealing with housing or health, you're talking about diabetes here or anything else, heart disease, non-communicable disease, anything there. What you're dealing with here is finding the money and finding resources and how to deal with COVID-19. So a lot of attention, the Ministry of Education is gearing towards that now. Ministry of Health is looking at that now. The Ministry of Finance would be looking at it. Where do we find the monies to deal with COVID-19? So there's a lot of attention that's being, I won't say misplaced, but being in other areas right now that is taken away. What should be a new government trying to see how could we bring this back? We're now dealing also with a bad economy. So plenty things there to think about. It's very, very fluid. But of course, in the meantime, we have a very unforgiving set of population here who would want answers, who would want success stories, who would want to see results. And it's good. The population should demand that from any government that is sitting there. It is their right.
All right, we're going to head back to the phone lines now. Do we have a caller online? Caller, good afternoon. Good afternoon. You're on air. Head back to the phone lines now. Do we have a caller online? Caller, good afternoon. All right, it appears we lost that caller. Do we have another one? All right, we're going to move on to some more things. We're talking about COVID-19 relief. A lot of persons have been texting. They still want to know, hey, who do we call if we want some help? Well, you call the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. Now, we would have listed a few numbers yesterday. We're going to share a few more today with you. You can call 615-9507. That number again, 615-9507 or 615-9727. 615-9727. So if you're in need of some public assistance, you can be sure to call those toll-free numbers. They are for the Ministry of Human Services and Social Protection. We have another caller on line. To call those toll-free numbers. They are for the
Yes, good afternoon, caller on here.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Mr. Gildarie.
Could you lower the volume on your radio, please?
I've already done that.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, brother. Good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. I don't know your name.
Danielle is our name.
Danielle, good afternoon to you, love.
Good afternoon.
Now, in Region 3, Mr. Gildarie, I know that you will be aware of this situation at Verding Hoop there concerning an individual by the name of Godfrey Best.
Yes, I know that situation there.
Okay, sir. This man is claiming he have a transport for the road. He owned the road. You know the road going into the jetty?
Yes.
He claiming he have a transport for the road, the drain, the parapet, and the shoulders of the road. Now, myself and two other vendors who is vending on a government reserve, we have documentation to prove that it is government reserve. 2015, the man bullied myself and the other man who is be selling there off the plateau land. The other people who have a place there, they have a stand. The man took them to court. The High Court ruled that a part of the people business place is struggling on his property that he claim that he have a transport for. There is a co-op shop he have a transport for. Now, the people supposed to break off 3 feet. The people break off 8 feet. Godfrey Best came one time during December. He attempted to break off the roof of the people business. Villagers come out and stop him. The people rebuild their roof. 5 days after he came again with the police, we have all these things on tape. Break out all the internal walls of the building. Just the frame of the building they left standing. The people come out again, stop him. The people rebuild all the groceries and so on that was in the place. They loot it. Godfrey Best and his people. Now, the Muslim holiday that gone the other day there, he came with an IHAP truck. We have all these things on video. Take the IHAP truck and flatten the building. Said that he got some reorder from the High Court. But this matter is engaged in the appeal court.
And so, if the matter is before the court, has any attempts been made to bring it to the attention of the judge or somebody, because this might be a contempt issue now?
Yes, sir. The lawyer is Mr. Hughes, and he's dealing with that. But I would just like the people of our country to know the advantage that is taking the poor and ordinary man.
Yes.
One man, you ever hear anybody get transport for the public road?
Well, that is the issue. I'm very familiar with that. And, let me tell you something, and you raise a very good issue there. Under the laws of Guyana, the government could probably, if it is in the public interest, could take over any property. Like if you're building a road and your house, or if you're building a bridge across the
Mr. Gildarie, that road is in existence for over 70 years, according to my
Right. So the government could make, I think the authorities could step down and say, look,
CMAP built that road in 2016.
Right.
Resurface the road as an asphalt road.
And I think it leads to a school too, right?
Benefit the school and the community at the back of the jetty. This man attempt to put a post in the middle of the road, cut a hole, put a post down.
I remember that situation. So let me keep it. Maybe what you need to do. I think you would have raised it there.
Yes,
I think the persons, the stakeholders in this particular case, need to raise that issue there with the lawyer, because if the matter is engaged in the court, we should not even be speaking about it here. But they have to deal with it as a contempt.
I just want the people of Guyana to know. From since 2015, Godfrey Breast reaping havoc for renewed there.
Thank you very much, sir.
You have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. And so there you would have had it, one case of in which, sometimes when we lead by example, it is what is going to tell us whether we are back to the caveman days or we are living in a society which is supposed to be civil, we behave in a civil manner, in a lawful manner. And sometimes you see very little respect for courts. The last 5 months would have shown very clearly that the courts could be disrespected in some very big ways. So over to you, Danielle.
All right, we're going to head back to the lines. We have a online caller. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon, Kaieteur Radio.
Yes, you're on air. Go right ahead.
I call on the LCC book. I agree with that lady what calling about the pension. We all in 60, 61, 62. What are we waiting for us in 65? When we die, we need those money now because we do a lot of work in this country. We need a lot of help. The government should really step on that. I call on the LCC book. And if you could please give me the number to text, your number on the radio there. Please call it out, please.
All right, that number is 6222222.
62222. That's 6222. I think I got it right. 62222.
Okay, good. Thank you. Welcome, right?
Thank you very much.
Step in on the matter for me, please. I'm a single parent and I need the help. I really need the help.
But let me tell you this. That's one area that I really frightened by. I'm really scared for the people because of what it has been over the years. But it's getting a little worrisome now. But we have to look at it. We have to put some kind of scheme, some kind of policy in place that we're going to once and for all start looking at our vulnerable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, and just a reminder for those out there that have been texting and asking about the number for the COVID-19 public assistance by the Ministry of Human Services and Social Protection. Those numbers are 615-9727, 615-9507, or 665-2271. You can contact those numbers Monday to Friday from 12 to 5 p.m. So if you're in need of some assistance, then please make sure to get in contact with the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. 15 hours 12. We're gonna head back to the lines. Caller, good afternoon. This is Wake Up Guyana.
Good morning. Oh my God, like I'm still sleeping.
Wake up.
Good afternoon, sweetheart.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I always enjoy your program and I learn a lot of things from you all too.
We're glad that we can, educate you.
I always listen and on 592 night time.
Yeah, you like that?
Always, yes. I like, certain things I don't know. I'm 57 years old. I had surgery for breast cancer.
Yes, ma'am.
and my doctor fill up the form for me to get the public assistance. And when I go, they're going to tell me the officer not in. When I call, they say, when I ask them when the officer going to come, they may know, they're barking on you. And I'm sick. I'm not too strong. And then I got to climb the step to go up. I can't. And I have to go steady.
Yes, and I agree with you.
Yeah, until now I can't get no help. So I don't know who, and the numbers you gave us yesterday,
Yeah.
nobody answering. Are they busy or they say it's in serving area?
Let's put it to the test. We're going to call it as soon as this
Yeah,
program is
I
done.
don't get you. I trying to
We're going to call it.
We're going to call them.
We're going to call it. And
Yeah.
you know what? We should, you give us a good idea in there now. We're going to start calling places like the banks and GRA and GT&T. I think I want to call GT&T. I think that'd be my favorite day. I'm going to call GT&T and I want to complain. I don't like the internet service, so I'm going to complain. But I hear you what you're saying here.
Yeah, when I go Enmore here, because I live in Enmore, when I go the DC office, when I go up and when you see, just you look at them, you get scared of them because you know what they're going to tell you. And they say, I don't know, come back Wednesday, come back Thursday, come back next month. Oh, God, me here, run steady, man, God.
Yes.
You're terrible, man.
No, we have to pay attention to our seniors. We have to pay attention to our people who can't help themselves.
I say maybe they hear my name and they don't want to give me anything.
What is your name, Saddam Hussein? I'm just kidding you. I just want to make you laugh.
Bharat.
I'm just kidding. But look, it is something we have to realize as people in offices, especially when we serve in the public, that you have a duty and a mandate to be respectful to the people, and you have to understand that when that happens. I mean, you can get some people like I can remember a couple of weeks back. And somebody asked him, well, why did you apologize? Because I said, if you know the right thing. I think I barked. I was, I think, not rude, but I answered a caller that I shouldn't really have because everybody has a different view. And maybe I didn't like it. I probably woke up the wrong side of the bed.
Try wake up the right side on the bed.
Agreed.
And I apologize. But I felt that if I had to apologize again, I would do it because sometimes you could become a man by doing the right thing if you know, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're in public office and you're there to serve, please serve. Let us be respectful to the people who come in. You don't know what they would have gone through.
But they'd have scared you.
No.
Because as soon as you look at them, and other people, you'd see other races go and get. Oh, God, and you really need, because I don't have anyone. I live with my mom and dad, and they're all pensioners.
I can imagine.
And I have a sister too. She is a diabetic and she has foot problem and
Well, I thank you very much, dear ma'am, and a good day to and more people.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I think a very pertinent point they raised there, Danielle. One of the things I think that the authorities, there is a brand new Minister of Public Service. And I would like to meet with the minister sometime or the other, because one of the things that I would like to recommend is customer service, a lot of customer service training. We should remind them that when you come into the public service, the very word service there should send a big signal that you would dare to serve the people. And that it is a government service. And there's so many things. I think one of the big highlights and I've said it many times before, for the coalition was the transformation of the immigration office, the passport office as we know it. You go in there now, I'm not sure, I haven't gone there because since my passport is okay. But you go in there now, and it's a different kind of things. There's a structure. You
Yes.
I'm not sure whether you could go to the back door and give somebody a passport. Maybe it's been done very quietly. But what you know is that you go there, the system moves pretty quickly. The immigration officers, there's a business-like attitude that is coming from them. We want to see that. We don't want no filing of names nails that people are there, you filing a nail and chewing the chewing gum, and that kind of attitude. I seem to have that impression as if the customer is the last person that we want to see for the day. That is not what we expect. And in fact, we are going to start calling the Ministry of the Presidency, the Ministry of Finance. Let's call these different areas and see how they answer the phone. Put it to the test.
Now, I know that the Ministry of Public Service would have conducted numerous training sessions on communication skills to public servants across the country. I know Region 7 benefited from one of those exercises. It was a 3-day workshop, and we had persons, they had persons from the Ministry of Health and the various offices up there, government offices, that would have participated in these training sessions. And it was done throughout the country. We're talking in each and every administrative region. So really and truly, there is no excuse for persons behaving the way that they're behaving at public offices.
No, you need to have constant training. You need to have that. You need to remind them. It's all part. I think it comes with the public service over the years. People used to dread going to GPO office where they would have had GRA offices there. They had the GPO side where you go get married if you want to get away. And you, Raj, you know what I'm talking about?
Raj doesn't know. No.
Raj, I think in the Western countries, if you say that you're eloping, it means that you don't seek the parents' permission. No, but you're traditional. You come from India, right? And so if you want to do it in Guyana without asking the parents something, you get away. That's eloping. All right, yeah. But
I don't really like the fact that you've been picking on Raj for the past couple of days.
Raj is a very nice guy, very nice guy. But back to our people. Do we have any messages here?
No, we're gonna take a call. Caller, good afternoon. Hi there. Go ahead.
Hello, you on air? Go right ahead. Hello. I think we would have lost that caller. Please make sure that your phone volume is down when you're calling us, so we could not have those disturbances. Do we have any text at the moment that we want to share?
Yeah, we've got some messages coming through. It's saying that the persons in the NDC offices, it's talking about their behavior towards people when they go to visit and make complaints to the NDC offices.
Yes, those are the biggest culprits. I mean, I like the Grove Diamond area. I deal with them because I live there. Got a very good chairperson there, Geeta. I can't remember. I think it's Ramnarayan is the last name. How are you doing, Madam Chair? I think they have been a transformation there, very business-like in their approach. But you would have been receiving lots of complaints. One of the big things that I have is that the councillors are begging people to vote for them in these local government elections. And after a couple morning of lots of enthusiasm, a lot of them don't go to meetings anymore.
Yeah.
This is not the kind of thing. Resign. You need to resign. You need to stop giving the people 6 for 9. Or what is it that you say? 6 for 9. What are the things that you say? Give them $2 and say that it's $1,000. That's what you're giving. You're giving you are not giving the people the right service, and you would have begged them. You literally come knocking on the door. Come, could you please give me a chance? I want to come in and serve you. I'm going to represent you. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know.
All right, we've got a text here. It says, "Good afternoon. This squatting situation is getting very bad at phase 3 Good Hope." Now they're saying that people are squatting on the reserve. Now, just this morning, if I am correct, we've had the newly appointed ministers of housing and water, which is Colin Crowell and Susan Rodriguez. Now, they would have went out into the field and they would have spoken about squatting. Now they're saying, hey, we're not condoning this. We don't want this. This is wrong, but we're not going to, we're not going to forcefully remove you. We're going to implement policies and we're going to put systems in place so that we can be able to provide some amount of assistance, for the persons that are squatting on the government reserve. So this is something that the ministry is looking into, and what we have seen is that we have the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Housing and Water. They have had a hands-on approach to addressing issues since assuming their position or since assuming office. So we can look forward to a lot of changes taking place in the upcoming weeks.
Absolutely. And so you know what? we want for, as we go forward with this program every day, wake up Guyana. We want to wake the people up. We want to see those texts coming in. So you had an experience. You went to, like for example, one of the persons listening, looking at us here. They're saying that you go to the BV telephones and telegraph place there, the facilities there, the BV. That's on the east coast of Demerara. And you see how they treat people there. We'd want to have some of your experiences. Let's just read it on thing. If you've gone to GT&T, if you've gone to the fish market, you've gone to Starbucks market at a particular stall, you've gone to a fast food joint and they have treated you badly, you don't like the way. Let us talk about it. Let's be professional. We don't want anybody, because you have a spite against somebody that you pick up the phone here. Let us start keeping people on the toes. And I think the next time we could probably every day pick up the phone and at least once a day call somebody, call a company, call an NDC, see how they answer the phone.
Yeah.
How do I pay my taxes? I remember I was living in St. Martin and there was this guy, I think his name was Bulldog. He was with this radio station, I think Laser 101, I think it was. Any case, he used to pick up the phone and call the lead of government office. Yes, you want the leaders of a government office. How may I help you? I'm here. I want to meet with the lead of government. I want to ask her for a date. And that would, but then we would call another day. I would like to make a complaint. What do you make a complaint? My toilet is not flushing properly, and these kind of things. But you got to keep people on the toes. We got to start, calling GT&T, see how long it takes to file a complaint. We call the PUC one day. Maybe they're saying that people, if you have a complaint, please call us. Let's see if we could file a complaint to the PUC, put them on the toes. What about the competition commission? Let's see how we could do that. A couple of things that you could really do to uplift our service, name and shame. Let's just start putting people out there and see what happens. It is a different time now. We're not going to tolerate. Maybe one more call and then we wrap up. Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon. I congratulate our new president and his cabinet. And I'm a pensioner and I need some help, please.
Thank you very much. How could I ask you to text to 62222?
I cannot text, please. I'm 70 years old.
Oh no, I would have to ask Raj or somebody to teach you with that. All right, could we take her off here or something? One second, you guys bear with us. Let us. Welcome back as we come to the wrapping up side of things. We tell you what has been the latest on Wake Up Guyana. Wake Up Guyana here on Kaieteur Radio. The big news is today is that the GPL chairman, Ralph Lucas, has resigned. And this would have come after the new government would have called on all political appointees to resign. Don't let us fire you. Please resign. And a number of persons, including a number of persons who would have been doing PR work on behalf of the coalition, would have been sent home. A few of them were from the ministry or the Central Housing and Planning Authority, working PR there, but was also working for the campaign. We would have also heard it today that there was 50 plus persons who were working as contract workers at the Ministry of Communities there. And there was very little evidence, according to Minister Nigel Darmlal, at the Ministry of Local Government there. It has been renamed from the Ministry of Communities to the Ministry of Local Government, which it once was prior to 2015. And he would have said that there's very little evidence of what these 50 odd persons were doing there. In the meantime, we would have had statements coming out from Accelerated Fund. This is one of the investment fund that would have been operating here that the authorities have warned about. It has said, it has issued a statement saying it's above board, it has applied, and that it's willing to work with its people that it has been doing business with, and there's nothing wrong with its operations. We would have also had talks or engagements a little early in the day with some officials from Trinidad who are part of the Forex trading, what they describe as Forex trading. Of course, we're going to bring the experts in. This newspaper, this radio here is going to open the lines to everybody so people could make informed judgment as to what they're dealing with. Of course, there's been a lot of worry over what these funds and what these investments and what these Forex trading, what is it that they're doing in Guyana. Of course, many people come in, or a number of persons come and say it's above board. Our job is to present it, and the people make their decisions with regards to that. However, in the meantime, the authorities are warning if it's something is a little more than 10%, start being very aware, start being cautious in how you're giving people your money. You need a license to be able to take people money to invest. You can't just do it just like that. And so you need a broker's license, I think it is. So Capital Forum, they would have sent a statement stating that they are above board. And so we're going to follow that story as we go forward. In closing, Danielle, what do we have to say to the people of Guyana? But we have some exciting times ahead. I'm getting to like this. So you like it?
Yeah, love it. Love it.
I like meeting with the people.
Yes, absolutely. And hearing from them and hearing, what are the issues that are affecting them, and, providing some amount of help in whatever way that we can. All right, with that being said, we're at the end of this afternoon's program. Of course, we want to just say thank you again to everybody that would have tuned in right here in Guyana, and even those of you that have been tuning in internationally, in the States, Canada, the Netherlands, and all over the world. We want to say thanks so much for joining us. We really do appreciate the feedback that you have been giving us. And if, we didn't address your issue today, we will do so tomorrow, because, hey, we can't get everything done in one day. All right, so with that being said, thanks so much for staying with us on Wake Up Guyana. Please be sure to tune in tomorrow right here on Kaieteur Radio at 13 hours 30 with, of course, myself and Leonard Gildarie. Until next time, take care of yourself.
Yes, and thank you very much. And so all the way from Florida, I want to say good day to you guys. I also would want to say that we are working to get our leaders, our ministers onto this program, and we have deliberately not really asked them to come on this week. Let them do their work, and when they're settled, have a hang of things, what is it that they have to work with, we want to bring them on, because we need to have an assessment of the situation. And I understand that a key report on some rapid assessments, as they were called, of key government institutions like NISIL and others like the GGMC and the Gold Board and so on. They have been carried out, and that's supposed to be submitted to government. And so we want to have an idea, what is the state of affairs within these various institutions. So when these people are settled a little, we are going to come back and we are going to tell you a little about, we're going to bring the ministers, we're going to bring President Irfan and Prime Minister Mark Phillips and others. And of course, again, we open these lines here to the opposition. You guys come on. You have more than half of or less than half of the population who has voted for you. You represent a big chunk. This radio station is available to you guys as to make it, make your message known. And so we could talk and have that conversation, which is supposed to be wholesome for all Guyana. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining us on Wake Up Guyana. It's not wake up in the morning, it's wake up, smell the coffee, and let us get this show on the road and moving so we could develop Guyana. We'll be a rich set of people here, very, very rich. Thank you very much, Raj, and thank you all for joining us here on Kaieteur Radio.
Win $100,000 monthly with Sleepy sanitary pads. Sleepy sanitary pads are all natural and are made with cotton and bamboo fibers. It is dye and lotion free, hence no irritations or rashes. Sleepy sanitary pads are available in 2 sizes, ultra thin and thick. It is affordable and available nationwide. See press for details. Visit our Sleepy South America Facebook page or call us on 233-2473.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.